Welcome to this episode of Leaders in Next podcast. We've got our recurring guest, running back Jordan Marshall. Now, a lot's changed since Jordan's first episode with us, including a bowl game for the ages, 100 yards against Alabama in a win. Jordan, you now need no introduction. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me. Just a pleasure to be on here and reach the fans and talk to you guys as well. So just excited.
Good to have you too, man.
Yeah. Well, man, and as Dan said, a lot has happened since we talked to you. I think we talked to you in October. At this point, you had some injuries early in the season. You were returning kickoffs. I mean, everybody knew you were highly rated, Mr. Ohio football. An honor you share with Charles Woodson, Michigan great. But, you hadn't played much. Just a little bit about last season. What was as you look back, what was the biggest surprise to you for last season?
I would say the biggest surprise for me was just the guys up front. Again, they're faster and quicker than anything in the high school level. They're all really, really good and talented. I would say both ways, O-line and D-line, and then just it's a grind. It's not just I'm playing against these scrubs anymore. Like, again, it's hard-nosed football every single week, and you have to prepare your mind, your body for a game in and game out, or it will toll on you at the end.
What ended up being the biggest adjustment there? Like, I know they're different blocking schemes, but it sounds like just in terms of we see like patience hitting the hole or decisiveness hitting the hole. Did the speed of like the lineman up front, or like was there a big change going from high school to Michigan, or maybe spring to game action that you noticed more than the rest?
I would say for the most part, for me, the game wasn't as everybody's like, oh, the game's just going to be faster. And I think my football knowledge is pretty high up there. So for me, it wasn't too much of, oh, this is going way too fast. You just have to recognize pre-snap and post-snap what's going on in defense quicker. There's a lot of people, our defense does it really well. They cover things up, meaning blitzes, pressures, coverage. And once I got out of camp, I pretty much could tell you what was going on just because I see such a complicated and a good defense every single day. And I would say that's a key for anybody looking to go to Michigan is you play the best defense every single day, whether it's the ones, the twos, the threes. We are deep on defense, and it will always be like that. So for me, it helped me be able to recognize and post-snap before the play and pre-snap before and post after what's going on and getting it done quickly.
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary. Like whether you're running against our starting front seven, or we saw this in the spring game where like the second string front seven or the third string front seven, there's kind of dudes in all of them. So it's good. I mean, it keeps you game ready. I mean,
it's crazy because, again, you can mix any of those dudes up on the front seven, the linebacker. You can mix any of them up, and it's an insane box. You play that box is just it's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, even last year having to go that box was unreal, and we're like, oh, we lost a lot of guys, but it's just a reload. And it's scary because our ends, you got TJ, you got Dom, you got D Moore, they can be at linebacker. You can put Jay Sean on the ball. You can put Ernest on. They're all just athletic freaks. So it's crazy for us when we're practicing the game plan. I can only imagine what it is for a team to game plan against us.
Well, I think that defense obviously came on strong at the end of last season, and I think the Ohio State game really highlighted some of that. What was it like? I know, again, this is at the point of your career. You weren't carrying the ball a lot at this point, because we had two NFL-bound running backs, right? What was it like, though, for you as a former Mr. Ohio to kind of come back to Columbus, Ohio, and return home to play football?
It was great. I got a lot of text messages that week from people at the school, and some not so great, some good, some just funny. Some of my best friends go there, so it was just cool to be back home, have your really to just come back in your state and play there. It's a dream playing in the shoe, and especially to take them down too. But just the energy I had, I went in that game being the third/second back because
Yeah.
Dono was a little banged up. You had Ben that was definitely out with a high ankle. So I was taking almost all the reps, all the practice. Dono said he was going to play on that Friday. He ended up playing, and I was just ready to go, ready for my name to be called. And whatever the team needed me to do is what I was going to do. And I got to get out there and get a run, which was pretty cool. So it was fun.
And hold on, I mean that was a high pressure moment. Like so, Edwards, goes out with an injury, and then on the big run, I think Khalil pulled up and got hurt as well. And then I remember seeing like you come in off the bench on a cold day, taking the biggest handoffs of your life, and everyone's going for the ball. Everybody was going for the ball. What was going through your mind when you came out in the field and they called your number?
It's just something you prepare for every single day, and we strive by that in the running back room, and it's a standard that I'm trying to help our guys withhold is no matter who's on the field, there's a standard, especially just like we all talk about. There's this standard that the running backs at Michigan have to have just because of who's played here and who's been here. So that standard, let alone, and then the standard that me, Justice, Corum, Dono, Khalil, all the standards before us. So when I stepped out there, I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to perform just like they would, and I'm going to try to do even better. So when I stepped out there, I was just ready to go. Ready to get some more touches for real, but
yeah.
Well, you'll get those. Just curious, how many tickets? You probably had a lot of people, wanting some tickets to the game. How many did you get? Some of your relatives into the stands?
So we had 8. Some of my family bought some, and then we got a whole bunch. Or I think I got 6 from just communicating with people on the team, and they know it was a big game for me. So
yeah,
it worked out for the best.
Well, I'm curious. I think when we first talked, I think you mentioned your grandfather, big Ohio State guy.
Yeah.
Was he in the stands?
He was not. He was so he usually has it. He's been, I think his first time going, he's went to 2. He came to 1 here when I was getting recruited, which was like my junior year. And then I think he's went to 1 back in the day with his sons. But he usually has a big watch party at his house and a whole bunch of guys over there. So they said they were all sitting there. And when I went in, they were like, no way Jordan's about to score and seal the game. And he was like, but it was funny. He was like, I would have been happy, though, if you would have scored and won the game. That would have been something we would have talked about until you grew old. And it was cool coming back home after that too, and being around the family, and everybody's so excited. So
you want to talk about the backflip?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome. That was planned, or that was just like, man, I'm doing a backflip right now because I can.
More just I'm gonna do a backflip because I can. My friends are all like, they're like, damn, Jordan, you doing a backflip on the O, blah blah blah. So looks like I gotta do one next year too after we get the win here.
I got a good picture of that. I
didn't. There was no pictures, so
I got to be honest. As an old guy, I sit there and think there's no upside to doing this backflip. You could hurt yourself. But that's just me, conservative, non-athletic person saying, please don't do anything. You see those replays in the NFL. Some guy does that, and then he's out with an injury. So
yeah,
Flip side
they're actually banned at practice because we have a number of guys on the offense.
For that reason.
Bryce loves to do them. There's a few backs in the room that can all do them. Some wide receivers. So, yeah, it's always a fun time.
I was watching the where both teams had a meeting. We'll call it a meeting at midfield after the game. I think you strategically stayed outside the fray, away from the pepper spray, and just said, "This is nuts. What are we doing here?"
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was going through your mind when that was taking place?
Kind of what Khalil said. You had four quarters to fight and to win.
Right.
Because I know if it was the other way around, they would have done the same thing. They would have planted the flag, walked around the field. Like it's the same thing. I think we can be a little bit better on our actions after a game too. I'm not saying that it was right to do that. I think we win, we go in the locker room and we celebrate. But for me, I was on the outside because I don't want to be me as a person. I don't want to represent myself like that and fighting or getting involved with the extra stuff.
Yeah.
I'm here to play football, to win a game, go home and go have a good night with my boys, with my family. And also it's just not a good look for my future. And I don't want people looking back on that, well, Jordan was doing this during this time. And again, everybody's watching. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
So for me, that's just how I was raised. And you don't fight about it. You play, you fight on the field. And once that whistle blows and it's the end of the fourth quarter, that's it.
Yeah. Well, on a positive note, too, on the Ohio State game, before we talk about Bama, which we will definitely talk about Bama, we were not big Chief Keef fans here on the Leaders in Next podcast. We are now. We have the walkout in the Ohio State game in Alabama. Have we ever lost walking out to Chief Keef, and will we ever lose again walking out to Chief Keef? This is a question the people want to know.
I don't think we'll lose walking out to Chief Keef. It's a different energy. Everybody on the team knows it. Gets the heart pumping, and it just brings us together. And we know what time it is when we're walking down and you're just singing the song and everybody's just bobbing their heads. It's a different energy.
No, Dad, I think you could start walking out to the first tee. You could do this for golf. You could walk out to the first tee with Chief Keef. We'll get you set up. Up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
With the Champions outing coming up, we'll have to maybe get that going.
I'm not sure, too, Jordan, if you've seen the Sicario. Have you seen the edit of that walkout where they do it to the music from the movie Sicario?
I think so.
Oh,
I think so.
Ridiculous.
I mean,
awesome.
Again, I like watched the video and I'm just like, this literally looks like a scene from the movies.
It does.
No, it's good. Well, let's get back a little bit of football. I mean, your first ever start, the ReliaQuest Bowl. I was there, by the way. That rain was pretty special. You ran for 100 yards on 23 carries, earned MVP honors. Walk us through a little bit about how soon was it after the Ohio State game? I mean, did you know right away that, hey, those guys were going to opt out? Or when did you know that you would be starting running back in the bowl game?
So I knew right away that Dono and Khalil were most likely going to opt out. And if they played, it'd be very limited and maybe the first quarter, and me and Ben would have the rest.
Yeah.
So pretty early on, I was like, all right, this is my show. Like, this is what I came here. I need to put on for the fans. And, yeah, I'm excited to just go out there and show everybody what I could have been doing all season. So bowl week, playing well, practicing really well, leading our team. Me and Ben are kind of going back and forth, friendly competition. We knew one of us were going to be a starting back, but just are out there trying to get better. Casula was on me, just telling me that you're gonna go off in this game. You're gonna do this. You're gonna hyping me up, and then also making sure that I was good and making sure I was leading this team. Nobody was named a starter until nobody was really named the starter. So whole week when we got there in Florida, me and Ben still going back and forth. I actually had probably one of the worst weeks of practice I've had my whole time in Michigan. First day I get out there on a Monday or whatever, not a Monday, whatever day we got out there, I fumbled on my first practice, first play. Didn't really get a touch the rest of the day. Was kind of in my head. Needed to really refocus, and the week went on. Didn't really have a great week. Just wasn't the week I expected out of myself. I want to say the day before the game, I'm sitting there eating, and Coach Alfred comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna win MVP of this game. Like, you're gonna win MVP of this game. Like, I know you are. You have all the tools. You're gonna win MVP of this game." So from that moment, we had walked through the next day, and it's my pregame ritual I go in the shower, lights off for probably about an hour, and just listen to music, probably 15 minutes of silence, and then I kind of just picture myself in the game, run through some plays, run through what I'm going to do, just kind of manifest what I'm going to do out there, and then go to bed. And so woke up feeling great, and then I got out there and Tony was like, "You're going to start." And I was like, "Let's do it."
Now, when Alfred said you're going to be MVP, was your initial reaction is like, "Man, you're just saying that," or like, "Yeah, like you're crazy," or did you say, "You know what? I am"?
I feel like in that moment, especially not having a great week, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this." If my coach believes in me and I had a terrible week, there's no telling what I'm gonna do in this game. So for me, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go win this."
The flip side of the fumble on the first play is like statistically that makes me less likely to fumble in the game because law of averages. So I got it out of the way. That's how when I hit my worst golf shots, like, well, my next one's now more. Yeah. When you did that exercise the night before, you come out, you visualize. How close did it play out to what you visualized? Obviously, my guess is you faced a pretty stacked box. They knew we were going to run the ball a lot. You get these 100 yards on these 23 carries, but they are tough yards. You are shedding and fighting for every yard. Kind of, how did the game play out versus how you visualized it? I'm curious how close they were.
I would say it played out. I knew it was going to be a battle in the trenches, and we were going to run the ball. That's what we've had to do all season, and I know a lot of their guys didn't opt out, and they had some first-round pick guys, a backer that went to the Eagles in the 11th pick, I think. It was a top pick, but again, I knew that I was going to have to battle for every single yard, and that's what I've had to do. That's my game, and I knew from that moment when I was sitting there thinking in the shower, just it's time to go. It's time to turn it on and win this game.
Now you had, like Dan said, tough runs. You probably know this. It's been in the press. You forced 12 missed tackles against Alabama, which is a feat that no Wolverine had accomplished since Blake Corum in 2022. 12 forced tackles against a team that was almost made the playoffs, right? CFP, and to your point, they had a lot of strong guys on defense. So one of the plays I want to talk about, and I don't know if, like, sometimes you guys remember every play, but this was a really crucial play. I mean, we had been up like 16-0 just before halftime, but then Bama came back. It's now like 16-10, and we've got the ball, and you peel off a 24-yard run, which I think 10 of it came after shedding the last Bama defender. First of all, do you remember this run?
I think you're talking about the one where I stiff arm the guy. I think.
Yeah. I mean, walk us through, because we're watching that going, this is unbelievable. I don't know how many tackles you broke on that one run, but literally 10 yards after you stiff armed the guy, and the crowd was going nuts because this was important. Because again, 16-10, this led the ability to get a field goal. Now it's, and we won the game 19-13, but had we not gotten that field goal, they could have, it could have been close. It was close, but I mean, walk us through, if you remember that play. We'd love to hear it from casual fans, from your perspective, how it transpired.
So we ran that play probably 8 times that game. That same play, we ran it a lot that game. It just was working. We were getting good looks. I knew so I got the ball. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to make it outside, cut inside. It was like a kind of like a side cut upfield, and then I stiff armed and just it was just in the moment. I was like, I got to make a play here. Like, they called the play. We've ran it so many times. I just got to make a play. I would say the thing that I was most mad about is when I got up on the sideline, there was mud all over me. And I kind of just like looked down and was like, oh, I need new gloves. Like, I'm dirty. Like, I can't put my hands on my pants. Like, so I would say that was what I was more worried about. And I was pretty tired after breaking those tackles. And all I remember is Coach Moore running down the sideline. And he was like, get him up, get him cleaned up, get him cleaned up. He needs to go back in. So we were just, it was crazy. So we're changing my gloves, wiping my jersey off, and the guys are helping me up. But it was that, again, that was probably one of my favorite runs during that game, that one. And then we had a 3rd and 2, or maybe 4th and 1, and we had 11 and 15, and I went and hit right in the middle, got the first down, and they both like picked me up and carried me for like 5 yards. But I got the first down, and that's all that matters. So it was fun though.
Now, as someone who's done neither of these things, what is better in a run? To juke somebody like out completely, just drop them, or stiff arm them like you did that dude on that run? Like, if you got a little bit of thunder in your game, a little bit of lightning, what are you taking? You can only take one.
I would definitely take the stiff arm. Yeah. The stiff arm is just like, I don't know, weight room. Like, that's what they say. I would say stiff arm, same with trucking. Like, I don't know. I'd rather hit somebody and make a highlight than make a miss. But either way is.
Well, that's not too surprising. Kind of, I remember our first conversation in October. You said, gotten into football, you like to hit people. You start off, you played linebacker a little bit. So I guess that's it's carried through to running the ball. I mean, as fans, we like both of them, but it does. I think the people that like the physicality of football, love that stiff arm. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, strength against strength, and it was exciting. Now, you mentioned in an interview, you talked about Dono and Kalel, in terms of missing them on the field, and but embracing the moment when they kind of stepped out. How did those guys inspire? Like, did they pull you aside, and what kind of advice or did they share with or say to you about the game, prior to the bowl game?
I would just say they both believed in me after the first week or after really camp. They were like, if you have to go in, like, we know you're going to do your job. Again, I would stay with them, study plays, late nights, watching game plans, and just trying to do whatever I could to put myself in the best position to play, and for my upcoming years to be able to mentor other running backs and other people trying to do the same thing as me. So I remember one talk with Dono one time is he was like, Jordan, this offense is meant for you, and you're going to do great things here. Like, this run style, the way they do things, it's meant for a running back like you. So make sure you embrace it, but take care of your body, because again, that's what it is. Longevity wise, is taking care of your body. And just like Donald and Khalil, they had somebody to back each other up. So it's great for me to have Justice, but also a multitude of guys with Hester and John and Micah and Kuz, who could all get reps this season, but they're all, just like I said, next man up. And if somebody needs to make a play, I trust in every single one of those guys to come in and make a play.
Now,
Yeah,
you talked
last one on the bowl game, and then we'll kind of transition into 2025. Just reading a quote that you had said after the game. You had said, "Hey, we're not playing for a bowl. We're playing for the chip, the championship." That was cool. Obviously, it came on the heels of a win. And we've talked to other guys about not looking past a game, or not looking down at a game, especially a game against Alabama. But clearly, you'd kind of shifted your mindset towards next season. But that was a big leap, Jordan, of just like entering the starting role for the first game and then, making that statement. Kind of what shifted for you mentally? Was there a moment in that game where you felt like, hey, now I'm kind of being seen as a leader on this team? Just kind of take us through kind of, what went into your mindset there.
I would just say in general, as a freshman, I was seen as a leader already. So how I carried myself, and again, how I carried myself for this upcoming season would be big for our program, and people are going to look up to what I say. So I was taught, my high school is a really prestigious high school, and they've won some championships. So I don't want to settle for the bottom of the barrel, which to me is just playing in a bowl game and going to have fun. That's not what I came to Michigan to do, and I know that's not what the fans want. It's cool. We beat Alabama, we beat Ohio State, but let's beat Ohio State, let's beat Bama, but let's win a natty. And I hope we get 3 to 4 in the next couple of years, and I think we will. We have a really good team and really good people, really good staff, and that's what it's all about, is coming together as a team, as player to player, coach to player. And I think there's something special after that game. Is we don't want to go 8-5. We don't want our fans to feel the feeling of 8-5 again, and that's not going to happen this season. And we're coming with a different energy and tone to us.
Well, and we're closing in on, fall camp obviously is getting there, and then we're all fans are got those dates circled for the start of the season. We can't wait. I'm reflecting back on our first episode, and we were talking about your recruiting, obviously highly recruited guy, and you talked about how you'd ask coaches, hey, how do you see me fitting into your offense? Now, we had a change in offensive coordinator since you've been your first year, and then all of a sudden now we got Chip Lindsey. I'm curious, did you sit down with Chip and say, hey, Chip, how do you see me fitting into your offense?
I would say so I didn't with Chip, because we still have Coach Moore and we still have Coach Alford, and Casula, if you want me to be honest. I think those three have a very strong voice on what the offense is going to do. No matter who the OC is, I think they all come together at the end of the day, and it's not just Chip's show, but I think they do a good job of, they're all four really smart, really, really high IQ for football, and Coach Moore wants to run the ball. He wants to run the ball. He's not going to lean away from that. That's what Michigan is about. And I think Chip brings such a unique style to our offense and gives our quarterback and our receivers, tight ends, running backs, everybody to make plays in the passing game. And I think that's where it's going to be a little bit of a change, is you're not just going to – we can run the ball 32 times, but we will throw the ball, and we're going to take some shots. We're going to make some guys miss. We have a scary offense, and if we come together, and we gotten so much better just in these few weeks of going out on Tuesdays and having player led and all of that type of stuff. But this offense is coming together, and it's going to be something scary, especially not just running the ball. It's going to be in all phases.
After our spring game, there were some analysts that predicted you'd be ready for a breakout season in 2025. First of all, for those analysts, no shit. So that filing that under there. But setting that aside, What what are your goals? We asked you actually this question about last year. I think success, right, in terms of some of your goals for last season, particularly as the season closed up. But what are your goals for the 2025 season?
I would say my goals for this season are to lead us to a national championship, um, lead on and off the field. Something else that I want to do is I just want to embrace every single moment I have out on the field. You don't know when the last time is, so just to make sure that I'm embracing when I'm out there. Another goal I have is just to play for that little kid that when he was playing back in the yard. I think a lot of us forget that because it's such a job. We make money now. We do this. We have to go to this event and do this. So just making sure I'm having fun out there and enjoying the game. And then for me, like football wise, is I need to get in the end zone is a big one. And I would probably say I want me and either Justice, whoever it is, I want to have two backs over 500 yards.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to be presumptuous, but when you get in the end zone, how are we thinking on the celebration? We've been made aware of the Terry Hoffman living room jumper, which is a big thing now in the tight end room. I'm not sure if that's caught on with the team. So we are heavily inspired by Terry Hoffman now. But what are we thinking? We got anything planned? Or you can surprise us, but I just didn't know. Also, shout out. I'll use any excuse to shout out Terry Hoffman.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
We've talked about it, joked about it. One of my roommates is actually in here right now, Luke Hamilton, but he knows about it. A lot of people know about it, so it'll be something funny.
Now the jumper you wear number 23, you're repping Jordan. It would fit very well. I'm just throwing that out there, but I'm sure you got something planned. And yeah, we'll keep it a secret.
If it's a tight game, just whatever you do, don't draw 15.
It won't be. It's something small. Something
small.
All
right. Yeah,
it's not a tight game. Yeah, get the flag. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, my guess is your first touchdown will come in a game that presumably isn't that tight. Although, never know. So it's just curious. You mentioned you've mentioned leadership and things like that. How do you what are some of the things you do that demonstrate your leadership style? I mean, are you a guy that gives speeches? Are you a guy that pulls the younger guys aside one-on-one? I mean, or just through your personal actions? Like, what are some of the things you do that define your leadership?
I would say I feel like I used to be more of a rah-rah type of guy, like yelling, and I don't think I need that role right now. I think my coaches want me to be more rah-rah, especially just to everybody. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to focus on myself and make sure I'm doing all right. But I got to remember that even though I'm a sophomore, guys are looking up to me, whether I played one game, 2 games, and I feel like I get in my head because I'm like, well, I'm a younger guy. I only played 1 game. And Casula, TA, they're like, you have Coach Moore. They're like, you have every right to pull one of these guys, grab them by the jersey and tell them, let's go. Like, it's time to lock in and let's play ball. And that's something that for me, I'm like, all right, I gotta trust in my abilities to lead and make sure this team is where it's at. And I think I've done a great job just doing that by my actions. And something I think I can get better at is telling those older guys, like, come on, like, you're better than this. Like, we've been doing this for a while. Let's lock into the details. And I think that's something that we all can be better. And we need to have a leader for whatever quarterback is out there, because they're going to be young and inexperienced if it's not Mikey. Right. So making sure that they're all right. And also we need a morale guy. And we talk about the running back room as being the alpha and the leader of the whole team. If the running backs are going, that means most likely everybody else on the team is going. So just to make sure that that's where it's at. And making sure we're getting the guys up front. Like Gio's a big morale guy and talks, so he's somebody that I like to confide in and talk to him about things because he gets stuff done and makes sure that everybody knows what the deal is.
All right, so so imagine I'm Gio. I just maybe had a bad play. Pump me up. What are you saying to me? Maybe I just didn't get to my spot on time. I come back to the huddle. What do you hit me with?
I would probably try to make him laugh because Gio's always so mean mugging everybody. So we all do this thing, tick, tick, boom, and we look at Gio. So probably just try to loosen them up and talk, like, just be like, Gio, let's go. Like, you know what you're doing. You know, like, go hit that mother. Yeah, go hit him. So yeah.
You mentioned
that's the funny thing.
You mentioned Justice coming in, and obviously we've had some other transfers as well in the running back room. I'm just curious, did the coaches in advance they say, "Hey, Jordan, we're going to bring in some guys, depth," or was it a surprise to you when you see this, read it in the news?
It was not a surprise to me. At least from knowing that Justice was coming, which was the big one.
Yep.
But me and TA sat down and had a whole conversation about it. They had me and Ben, but me and Ben, very little experience. I played a game. Really, I'm supposed to have a really good season, supposed to do all this, but again, and this is the conversation me and TA had. He was like, "We trust in you. You're just a young guy, and we need to get somebody with some carries under their belt." And he was like, would you be upset or offended if we brought somebody else in? And I was like, no. Like, bring somebody else in. That's just going to help me make my game even better, push me to be better, push me to not be complacent, like, oh, I'm the starter now after one game, and just kind of fall into that lapse of I can do what I want. So for me, it was, yes, bring somebody else, and I want somebody else to come in to help me, but also to make this room even better.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why you come to Michigan, is to push yourself against your opponents and against your teammates.
I think the average fan may not realize that that's really how you guys are wired, because a lot of people will see that and say, "Oh crap!" If they were in your shoes, they say, "Oh man, like I'm supposed to be the man, and you're bringing in all these other guys." I mean, but you guys sincerely are talking about how this competition makes you better, and from what I heard, you and Justice are walking around Ann Arbor, not arm in arm, but you guys are hanging out, got to know each other pretty well.
Yeah, we have a great relationship, and again, that's off and on the field. From traveling, we went to an internship together with our financial advisor, and got to learn some things from him. And me and Justice talked about money and what we want to do in our futures with the money we make. And again, just being tapped in on not just football is something important. And I love the dude. He's taught me so much already. He's a pro about how he does things, something that I need to be better at, how he takes care of his body, how he eats, so just things that you can get better at, and it's good to see an older guy doing that. And again, just like he's learning stuff, I'm learning stuff from him, he's learning stuff from me. So just to have that brotherhood that we can bounce off of each other, we can learn from each other, it's gonna be insane when we get on the field, for us to have that energy and be able to play well together, having that relationship. And I mean, people should be scared. I know that we're the best duo in the country, and I think we're the best running back room in the country. And outside of just me and Justice, like we have guys, every single guy. And again, you saw it in the bowl game. You saw Kuz, you saw Micah. Those two guys had a field day out there, and they weren't playing against those scrubs. Again, our defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're deep. They got a lot of good players. So again,
Kuz was quite a spring game revelation, right? I mean, a lot of people are going, "Who is this guy?" And then clearly he it's exciting to your point. I mean, between that and some of the transfers, and then you got some incoming guys. It's a strong room, and I know as fans we're excited about it. And the two-back system has worked at Michigan before. So,
in 2021, think about 2021. We had Corum, we had Haskins, and we had a freshman Dono. I mean, there are plenty of carries. I mean, we've actually had a lot of success in the last 3 years of having three strong running backs. There's one thing I wanted to make sure. Last time we threw out, your last name's Marshall, his first name's Justice, Marshall and Justice. We want to get you guys branded as Law and Order. We think that would be sweet. Just want to make sure.
I mean, for sure. So we've actually, me and Joseph have actually signed stuff that said Law and Order.
Fucking awesome.
So
all right.
So we've signed footballs and both of our signatures, and it'll say Law and Order on it, and yeah.
So Dan, where's our percentage of that?
No,
I want no percentage. I just want to.
That's awesome.
We'll connect. No favors.
We're embracing it for sure. I saw it on, I think, Twitter or something. Maybe it was from one of you. I don't know. I saw it.
Someone said it that I stole it, but
saw it one day on Twitter and was like, "Oh, Law and Order."
Badass, right?
That's good.
We do need a favor from you though. I believe that his last name would be Haynes. Hayes, just by the way it's spelled.
It's Haynes, yeah.
We got to catch the PA announcer at Michigan Stadium. Justice Hayes. Justice Hayes actually was a player for Michigan who played running back. Actually, I think he may have switched positions, but
somebody was telling me that there was somebody that played running back.
Yep.
Yeah, with the last name.
Yeah, the PA announcer, and you'd think somebody would have corrected him during the spring game. He said it the entire game is like, this is annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude is a highly ranked kid.
Catch him.
Before we finish up on your running back, last year you looked pretty darn good returning kicks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess maybe they've taken that off your plate, but I'm just curious. Are we gonna see you returning kicks?
That's the goal. I want to return kicks, and if they're going to allow me to make an impact on special teams, and which I think they will, I would love to get back there and return kicks. And
okay. Okay. Makes me nervous, but I'll trust you.
Doesn't make me nervous at all. Also, has Justice tried to get you into cryo? I see he's a big. Actually, I bumped into him because I go to cryo too. Again, mine's more for just trying to make it up the stairs in the morning, but different goals. Has he pushed cryo on you though, Jordan?
He's told me I should try it. I like to just go in the cold tub, sauna. You get the same benefits. I think he likes a mixture of both, but definitely something I want to try. What's
key to your recovery routine? You mentioned a couple things, but like what's on your kind of recovery?
I like the Normotech, which is I don't even know. It's like compression around the legs. It's like these boots you kind of slide on your legs, and
we tried that.
We have those. We have these hip ones, so I like to do those. A massage. We do massages after the games, so there's always a massage person. And then again, the cold tub is something that we do cold and hot and go back and forth. So I like to do that, and then more just stretching, making sure my body is feeling good, keep it moving, not always just laying down and sitting down for the whole day.
Yeah.
Now we're talking a little bit about all your physical health and stuff. I know in our first episode you had a passion around, trying to help people with mental health. In fact, I think when we talked to you, you were in the middle of writing a paper on mental health, for school. Are there things, you're a super busy guy. Is there anything you're doing now to help to work on mental health? I know there's Sack the Stigma and things like that. Are there some activities you're undertaking to pursue that passion?
So I just did stuff the camp that I did was Sack the Stigma sponsored it, which was really cool. Something that I was really excited about, and got to give out worksheets for the kids around mental health. Got me, Luke, Stewart, Rod, Sam Hubbard, they all kind of spoke at my camp a little bit about mental health because everybody has it. It's not a mental illness, but there's mental health. So really just trying to focus and make sure parents and kids get ahead of it early because it's something that bothers a lot of athletes and causes problems if you don't talk to people. So I actually am talking to our team therapist. I don't know what his actual title is, but I talk to him just about daily life stuff, maybe not even football sometimes, but just make sure that I'm clear in my head to have a good day. And mental health is I'm trying to start. I've been bad. I would say my first year I was pretty bad at it, but going back to church is something big. I want to start going every Sunday and make sure that I'm there. And that'll be mass and then a non-denominational church. So just switching that up week to week. And then again, just doing stuff for myself sometimes, going out to eat with the guys, going out with the guys on the weekends, playing cards at the crib, just things like that to break it up because again we only have so much time together at Michigan, and just making sure that we're embracing everything and that you're taking care of football, but you're also taking care of that part where you just want to have fun and do things that you like to do is something important to me.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of crazy just for a moment, like, you know, more players are, and I'm glad there's things like Sack the Stigma, but there's definitely a different conversation happening around like mental health. What's kind of crazy, I didn't go to college. Social media wasn't a thing until I just had left. Well, really, I mean, I think Facebook was around, but it's weird now with social media that the more excellent you are at something, the more scrutiny you face. Like, that's the weird thing. Is like, if you're really good at something, you take more shit, not less shit. Comments and people just wanting to troll and stuff. And it's the exact opposite of the way it used to be, where if you were excellent at something, you know, you were exposed to maybe more praise. And now it's like, I'm good at something, but I've got to deal with 100,000 morons all the time. And it's just a really crazy concept. And I'm really glad that people like yourself and, I mean, other players of the university and stuff are not just finding time for yourself, but also helping others. That's a really important thing. And you kind of answer this. We're going to ask you kind of, I mean, you're the starting running back in Michigan. That's a pretty, if there is a spotlight, that's one of the brighter ones out there. But just to hear you say, hey, I got to like just find some time, like just play some cards, man. Just like put the phone, like put the football and the phone down and just hang out with the guys. And I mean, that's all we can do. And man, you're right. I didn't play football. At that time of your life, it flies by. Like, you wake up and you're 24 and it is gone. So it's really cool you've got that perspective now, because not many do.
I would just say with the comments and stuff that the greater you are and the better you are, you get more of those comments of trying to tear you down. And
right.
I mean, that's right. I feel like from a broad, like, overall, like, that's what this world is now. If we had everybody building each other up, everybody would be excelling at everything. There would be no, we were talking about, like, what if everybody was just like a good person? Everybody would be probably have a whole bunch of money, be able to do whatever they wanted, like, but we have this thing where people just, there's all this jealousy, and you can be jealous about, again, this person drives this car, this person has this person has this, but what do you want for yourself? And I think a lot of people get caught up like, well, they're doing so good and all this greed, and I don't have this
somehow, you know.
Yeah. And I think more is, okay, those people with I try not to read comments. That's something that I stay away from. I don't really care.
Except
my mom loves to read comments.
Oh boy.
And I've tried to already tell her, like, she's like, well, I'm not going to say anything. Like, I know it could make a bad rep for you. And I'm just like, you just shouldn't read them in general. Like, I don't, again, I don't think you're going to do anything, but I don't want you to even think about it because it's just this world and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So you just have to find the positive in it too.
We'll step up. We'll get your mom a burner. She can do it all. Or she can leave us the next handle. We can do some of the dirty work for you. I mean,
but yeah, just again, and a lot of that stuff just builds you. You see a comment like, well, he's not that good. He's doing this wrong. You're like, okay, well, all right, I can work on that. I can do something like, again, and that's, you can take it as motivation. And I think a lot of the athletes do that, and some it's hard because they don't have anybody to talk to about it. And that's where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned doing stuff with teammates, and I think I've seen recently the social media post, Champions Circle. You're going to be golfing in their outing.
Yes, I will.
By the way, golf, I got to be honest, that can really try your mental health. It's a very frustrating game. But tell us a little bit about your golf game. I mean, I mean, you're an Ohioan. I mean, Jack Nicklaus. I mean, there's some famous golfers from Ohio. Tom Weiskopf, old guys. Tell us a little bit about your golf game. How long you been playing?
I've probably been playing for 3 months now. So I've just started really to get in it. For a while, I was playing like every 2 or 3 days. I went with Dom and Stewart and some of the Frazier. I went with Stu a lot. I went back home with some of my friends. But I like to go out there and have a good time. It challenges me because I'll hit a good ball and then I'll just shank one.
Word.
I'll be on the tee box and I'll just totally whiff. So it's something that I want to get better at for just going out and playing with people in the business world and just going out again, just to have fun with my teammates. So something that I definitely want to pick up, and I've been able to watch golf more and have some more patience and be able to actually focus and watch it.
Aside from, who's the best golfer you've played with on the team?
Probably Dom Zavada.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Dom Nichols, but no. Dom Zavada. Okay.
Zavada's a really good player. Plays well.
Okay. All right. Well, it's great. Let's go. We're going to wrap up, and we're going to go to our rapid fire segment here.
Okay. Let's do it.
Who was your favorite NFL running back when you were growing up? Saquon Barkley. And
growing up wise, probably Herschel Walker, because I grew up a Georgia fan.
Okay.
Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, talk less, smile more.
Who? Out of curiosity, who gave that to you?
Somebody, or I was watching something. And I saw it, and I was like, wow, like, people should stop talking and just smile. The world would be a lot better.
Casula's name comes up a lot in these podcasts. And you mentioned him. What's the best advice Casula's given you?
I would say most of the things that Casula says you probably can't repeat. But Casula is just he gets after you in a different type of way. Like, he more like, oh, you're soft. Oh, you're doing this wrong. Like, just tries to get in your head. And it's really good because you're like, this dude's like not giving up. Like, he's just keep going at it. But I mean, Casula advocated for me in the bowl game, saying that he thought one of the best backs we had. And again, Casula, the connection I've had with Casula actually came and saw me at my high school.
Okay.
When I was committed my senior year and Casula came, so
okay.
And that was like right after he got the job. So me and him have been tight ever since.
Cool.
What's your favorite moment from last season?
Beating Ohio State.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like on the sideline, you know, first of all, even the most rabid fans were like, we were nervous. Like, oh man, they're 24 point, 21, 24. It's like, this doesn't feel like our year. You guys obviously had a different mindset. What was it like at the end of that game? Like, just
I would say the moment I knew or I felt like we were gonna win is when was that Picard or Page that came down and laid that hit?
Yeah. Hal's been kind of low. I think Page got him.
When Page came and laid that hit, I was like, oh, we're gonna win this game. We're gonna pull this game out. The energy from that moment on just shifted.
nah.
And then after we won, the locker room was crazy. I had to hold Coach Alfred together. He was about to run through a wall and was crying, happy tears, and just it was a big win for him. And I'm just excited we could do that for him. Meant a lot for him and all he's been through, especially through the process of coming here. So just to be able to pull that out for somebody I love and for myself, being from Ohio is so much fun.
Well, just to give you a sense, obviously it's a big game. More people watch that game than.
Oh, Dan, you're breaking up there.
Oh.
Here, let me take this one, Dan. You lost your video, or you got weak connection. Jordan? What's the one? What fans would be surprised to learn about your off-season preparation?
Off-season? So like now? Like
now. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, good point. I mean, like now, as you guys are ramping up, like what is the thing that your guys' schedules are crazy. I mean, like you don't have a lot of free time. What do you think fans would be most surprised about to learn?
I would say right now we're actually like everybody thinks we're super busy, but we just lift. So we're pretty much like still summer, like
okay.
But I would say, just like I said, is they give you this time to lift and get stronger, and we get to play football twice a week right now. But I would say, like I said earlier, is just finding that time to do things that you want to do and stepping away from it. Because once we get into camp, it's football. So
yeah,
making sure that you're ready for that and enjoying the time you have now, because things are really about to ramp up. And again, I would say the biggest thing for me is you have to take care of your body. This spring was the first time they let the running backs go full go the whole spring.
Yep.
So me and Justice, everybody in the room was full go the whole spring.
Oh, good. Okay.
Which was the first time they said in a while that Coach Moore or Harbaugh have let them go full go. So just making sure that my body is at its peak position to be able to go out there game one and perform.
Well, we're excited to see you. And Dan, I see you're back now. You froze up a little bit there, but we mustered on. This is why we go too deep on the podcast,
That's right.
Jordan.
That's right.
So I mean, this we trade carries. All right, now we're gonna finish. We're gonna test a little quiz. Your knowledge of running backs at Michigan. And I'll take the first question. Who's the career leader in rushing yards for Michigan?
Mike Hart.
You're 1 for 1. Do you know roughly how many yards he had
In a season?
No, total. What's the
Total?
Yeah.
Probably 5.
Yeah. 5,000
on the dot,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Oh yeah, good. Okay, Dan, you got the next one.
What running back holds the record by having over 1,000 consecutive rushing attempts without a lost fumble?
Without a lost fumble?
Without a lost fumble, yeah.
Blake?
It's also Mike Hart.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Yep.
That record, by the way, is probably one of the more impressive records.
Can you say that one more time? So
he had over 1,000 straight carries without losing a fumble. I think he may have.
Wow.
He may have fumbled
a
it.
Game where he
got it back.
Fumbled,
but he got it
back. Yeah.
So 1,000 carries without losing a fumble. Okay.
Crazy.
Who holds the record for most rushing touchdowns in a season?
That's Blake.
Yep.
Damn.
You know how many? Extra credit? Do you know the number?
28.
Oh, close.
We got to give at least.
Yeah, we'll grade on a curve.
Right
it was 27.
Right there.
Oh.
Okay, now
I knew it was somewhere in the 20s.
Those are some recent ones. We're going to dive into some guys that are before your time, man. So is this Freddie J's time? Well, it's like, okay, so which running back was Michigan's first Heisman Trophy winner?
No clue.
Jordan, he fought in World War II, if that's helpful.
No clue.
Tom Harmon. 1940.
The old 98. Pull up some of those highlights there. They're electric.
His pictures, I'm sure, on the wall in Schembechler. So
it probably is. Tom Harmon.
War hero was shot down.
And then I'm gonna write these down.
Yep.
You can ask Alford. You should quiz Alford. Coach Alford's knowledge of Michigan, because I know he was a big OSU guy.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah. And so here's one against Ohio State. Who rushed for over 300 yards in 1995 against previously unbeaten Ohio State?
I don't know. I thought you were going to say earlier, and I was going to say Hassan, right?
He
was over 300, right?
He went to the pros. I feel like he went to the pros with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, this guy you're talking about.
This guy.
In 95, 96. Nickname, we'll give you his nickname. He was nicknamed Touchdown Tim.
Tim, is it Batuka? Is his last?
Tim Biaka-Patuka.
We will award points for that.
By the way, here's
Freddie J, I think, was around when he was around and said something like he was one of the best running backs he's been around.
Well, it's the second highest single game rushing thing, second to Ron Johnson. And Tim did it again against previously unbeaten Ohio State, 95, ran all over the place. And by the way, this game this year is the 30th anniversary of him doing that. So,
oh snap!
Just saying, it could be your time.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, you got the last question, and this is
Jordan. I live and breathe this stuff. I wouldn't have gotten this, so your guess would be as good as mine. What is the single game? What is the single game record for rushing touchdowns? So most rushing touchdowns scored in a single game, and who holds it?
5.
It's actually 7 by a guy named Albert Herrnstein. So
in 1902.
1902.
So nobody with 6? Is there anybody with 6? Do you know anybody with 6?
There might be somebody with 6. I didn't look that up. I mean, I got to be honest. This last
5. One, to be honest, I thought it was 5 too. I think that was the most touchdowns ever scored against Ohio State by a single.
Okay.
But yeah, Albert Herrnstein, he did it
7 in one game.
Yeah.
What was the score of the game?
Well, it was at that point they may have only been worth 1 point. So who knows? It was probably like 9-0.
I mean, it was 1902. I don't know who they were playing either, but
Chicago College of Dentistry or something like that.
Well, you are now fully armed to quiz the running back room and Alford, and you should go in there and just ask these guys the questions and say if they don't get it, it's like guys, how can you not know this? And just make I've known all this stuff. Like, how do you not know it?
Jordan, the next time Gio needs a pep talk, pull him aside and be like, do this for Albert Weinstein in the 1902.
Herrnstein. Not Weinstein.
Yeah, exactly. Do this for Herrnstein in the 1902 team, you son of... Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you successfully passed that quiz, I would say, with flying colors.
Oh, yeah.
Extra credit. You can talk some trash to Zavada.
Good.
Well done.
Yeah, no,
Thank you, guys.
that's impressive, and I think you should have some fun with Alford, especially with the Biaka Patuka, the one. Well, hey, Jordan, again, just like our first time, we had a lot of fun getting to know you even more. Congratulations on a great season. Obviously, again, people knew that you had that talent. We finally got to see it in full display. Awesome game, and we're excited about seeing you on the field this year, running and I presumably returning kickoffs. Although that wouldn't break my heart if you were just running a lot. But I'll let you and the coaches decide.
Either way is all right with me.
Yeah, good deal.
Jordan, thanks again, man. Great having
Thank
you
you,
on the
guys.
podcast, and go Blue.
Go Blue.
Yep.
Thanks.
Until next time.
Until
All
next
right.
time.
Appreciate you.